I always wanted to have magnetic charisma, but for the first 19 years of my life, I was the exact opposite. I had social anxiety, I was always shy, and never knew what to say in conversations. But it wasn't until I made these changes that everything changed for me. And I feel like I took the limitless pill, where now I can make anyone like me and conversations flow with ease. Everyone is always looking for the one-liner or the opener that's gonna change everything for them, but they never consider changing themselves as a person. And this is exactly why 3 years ago, when I hit my all-time low, I realized that I was this negative person who was blaming everyone else for the circumstances in my life, and I always wanted everything to fall into my lap and not have to do any work to earn it. And this is why I wasn't magnetic in the slightest. So if you're even 1% guilty of this, you need to apply the things I'm gonna teach you in this video, or you're never gonna have any social success, and you're gonna repel people the way that I did. Now, after hitting the lowest point in my life, I knew I needed to make a change as to who I was fundamentally and at my core. And this is when I embarked on doing exactly what I'm gonna teach you in this video that allowed me within 3 months to get to the best mental health ever, have no social anxiety, and started attracting people into my life with ease. So that's exactly what I'm gonna teach you in this video. By the way, I'll help you master having magnetic charisma and become the man that you always wanted to be in a one-to-one personalized coaching call. And we'll also set up a customized self-improvement plan to allow you to become the absolute best version of yourself. So if that sounds of interest, go ahead and book that in the first link in the description below. When it comes to being charismatic and magnetic, there's 2 things you need to master, and achieving these got me 99% of the things that I ever dreamed of. So, what are they? The first one is going to be presence. And what does this mean? That basically just means being here in the moment, not letting your thoughts wander, not thinking about what happened yesterday, not thinking about that girl you want to sleep with, but being very present in every single interaction, giving your full attention to someone, not letting the thoughts in your mind distract you, but just being very much right here in this moment, keeping eye contact with someone, not getting distracted. These are all things that tie into presence. So this is the first thing that you need to develop if you want to be seen as magnetic and charismatic. And the second thing is going to be warmth. Warmth is basically your goodwill towards others. It's the empathy you have. It's your ability to relate and connect and build rapport with other people. If you do these 2 things, you are going to achieve 99% of the things that you want in life when it comes to social skills, whether it's making a new friend or dating a girl. And now, to really embrace these 2 things into your personality for the rest of your life, and not just have some quick tip or trick that you're gonna try and apply once, but really change you down to your fundamental core and allow you to become the person you always wanna be, there's gonna be no better path than holistic self-improvement. And I know a lot of you are like, what the hell does this have to do with social skills? Some of you might be thinking that, but let me explain. If you embark on doing daily meditation, gratitude journaling, you read books furthering your knowledge on many different subjects in self-development, and you're also delaying gratification and staying away from all the instant gratification activities that we all know are bad, these are gonna be the things that actually allow you to make the changes to your personality and your character as a whole that allows you to just embody and embrace these characteristics that we just described of presence and warmth. And for those of you who still don't fully believe me, let me just ask you a question. Who would you rather have a conversation with? A person who has been drinking all the time, they might be hungover, they smoke weed, their thoughts are slow, they can barely process what's going on in the conversation, they're addicted to their phone, they might be picking it up constantly, checking their notifications, their social media feed, and they might just have all these bad habits that cause them to not even be able to stay focused on the conversation. Remember the last thing you said, engage in a meaningful way. Or would you rather have a conversation with someone who's been meditating, gratitude journaling, is so appreciative for life, can actually stay focused in the moment? They don't constantly scroll on social media. They don't do all the bad habits like video games, porn, eat junk food. They're not addicted to dopamine. And the conversation that they're having with you alone is giving them more dopamine than all these bad activities would for someone who's got a dopamine-fried brain in the first place. So realistically, who do you think you would have a better conversation with? Person A, the dopamine addict, or person B, the one who actually is present in the moment and is not addicted to dopamine and does good habits to develop their mind and body? It's obvious. It's going to be the second person. And to take that question analogy even further, I was recently just out doing some cold approaches sober with my friend at the bars and clubs, and we met two girls. The one I was talking to was an absolute mess. She could not focus on the conversation for more than 30 seconds. She was running around to every single person that she thought she knew, or whatever the situation was. She was just so distracted, was telling me sob stories about why her art isn't going right, and I did not want to be in this conversation for 1 second longer the entire time. I was just staying in it for my friend, so he was talking to that other girl. But for me, I was miserable in this conversation. And now you need to think, are you doing this to other people? Whether it's a girl you're trying to talk to, or a guy that you're trying to become friends with, or someone you're trying to network with. Are you boring them, and are you showing them the things that are making you very unmagnetic and repelling them instead of drawing them in? Because this is going to be the difference between being able to make friends with ease and have people absolutely obsessed over you, or want to stay as far away from you as possible. When they see you, they're like, oh no, not that guy, please, not that guy. Literally the way I reacted when I saw her the next weekend. I was like, no, please. And then I'm nice, so I'm like, okay, hi, I'll give her a hug, whatever. But I was like, no, not her again. I don't want to talk to this girl. She's so annoying. She can't focus on the conversation. She's not present at all. So if you're bringing these aspects that are negative and drawing people down into your conversations and your interactions, no wonder no one wants to talk to you and no one likes you. So you need to do what I'm about to teach you in just a second here. So the first thing that's really going to change your life for the better, and it does embody every single aspect of self-improvement, is dopamine detoxing. Really trying to turn it into a lifestyle and not just some 24-hour, 48-hour gimmick that you're gonna do for a little bit and then go back to your normal lifestyle. So why is this gonna be important? Think about the amount of pleasure that you can get from having a simple conversation with someone. If you were just doing that, like from the example earlier, if you were dopamine detoxing and you were doing meditation, building your concentration, your awareness, your focus, your gratitude journaling, you're so appreciative for all the things you have, even if life isn't going exactly right for you, you're still so grateful and present, and you just bring all this positive energy to conversations that you have. You'll get so much dopamine from just having a simple conversation versus just being one boring part of your day and you can't wait to go back to smoking weed because your life is terrible when you're not dopamine detoxing. So that is the difference it's going to make for you. And if you don't feel that it is true, I promise you, this is the core foundation of what allowed me to really make this transformation for the long run, was doing a strict dopamine detox and then creating it into a lifestyle where I'm just delaying as much gratification as possible and only having select instant gratification activities like drinking sometimes. But for the most part, I try and live my life in a dopamine detoxing way as a whole. You don't have to be extremely strict with it down to the last little thing, but you want to just try and have more delayed gratification and reduced instant. So what are those things? You know exactly what they are. Delayed gratification is going to be meditating, reading, gratitude journaling, just doing things that are present and in the moment, playing chess with someone, playing a board game, spending quality time with family and friends, being in nature. Those are the things that are dopamine detoxing, delayed gratification activities. And the instant gratification, once again, you know all these, scrolling on social media, porn, junk food, drugs and alcohol. Those are all the bad things that you want to stay away from. And if you just do this one simple thing, I promise you, you're going to quickly start becoming extremely magnetic because you're no longer in this addictive mindset that's causing you to want to chase dopamine. And you're actually going to be able to sit down, listen to someone, empathize with the things they're having, whether it's success or failures. And you're going to be really present in this conversation and not just thinking about the next hit of dopamine that you can get, or when you can hit your vape, or when you can check social media and see how many likes your post got. Because those things aren't important and they're not going to be what are driving you, and you're going to be driven by just engaging with someone because this is the most fun you've had. And I know some of you are probably the more addicted ones of you out there and be like, well, that's so boring. The conversation's the most fun I'm going to have. Well, that's a problem if you think that way, because really social interaction should be one of the highest forms of reward. You shouldn't be getting all this dopamine from artificial sources. And if you are, this is probably why you're not magnetic in the first place. So the best thing you can do right now is start dopamine detoxing, doing exactly what we went over. You don't have to overcomplicate it, and this is gonna make a huge difference for you. So now, the next aspect, which is part of dopamine detoxing, which you really need to embrace, is gonna be meditation. This is what's gonna allow you to be extremely present and warm in conversations. Meditation has been shown to increase the skill of awareness, of focus, of concentration, and that's exactly what you need to bring into every single interaction you have. So if you're not doing this, you're missing out massively. And this is also going to allow you to just go so much deeper than just those basic skills. Think about it. When you can focus and concentrate better, you're going to be able to actually listen to what someone's saying. And when you're actually listening, it's going to be so much easier for you to empathize with them, with the success they're having, with the failures. You're going to be able to read the cues they're giving you. You're going to also be able to pay attention to the nonverbal communication they're giving you through their body language, their facial expressions. You're just going to be present at another level and be able to interact with people in a way you never thought was possible. And this all comes from developing the skill of awareness, of concentration, of focus, which is going to come through meditation. There's really no other way. Of course, dopamine detoxing is going to massively help with this, but you really need to embrace and do the delayed gratification activities like meditation. That's going to be one of the keys to making your dopamine detox the most successful and allow you to have the greatest return on investment for becoming magnetic and making your charismatic abilities the absolute best they can be. And there's one last aspect that you need to include in your dopamine detoxing lifestyle that's going to absolutely change everything for you. And that is going to be gratitude, and specifically gratitude journaling, making it a habit of writing down 3 to 5 things you're grateful for every single day. Every single successful person I know is extremely grateful. They're always having something to be positive about, something to be happy about. Even if things aren't going their way, they always try and find appreciation for the small little things in life. And this is just gonna cultivate this air of positivity, of you being a person that people wanna be around. If you can find the good in every single situation, people are gonna love that about you. And instead of being like that girl I explained earlier who was crying about her fucking art not going the way and her mom not supporting her and all this shit, no one wants to hear that. No one wants to be around a negative person. If you can bring all this positivity to every interaction, people are going to absolutely love you. And that's going to come from consistent gratitude journaling. It's going to be something that you just do on a daily basis. You can just think of something small. If you do it in the morning and you had a great night's sleep, you can just write, I'm grateful for having a great night's sleep. Or you can write, I'm grateful for a phone call I had with my friend, a mom, my dad, whoever. If it was a good call, you can be grateful for that, having that call and being able to do something like that. If you took an ice bath and you feel amazing after, like I just did this morning, then you can write that down. You can say, I'm grateful for having an ice bath and feeling amazing. I know it does so much good things for my health. The more you are grateful for on a consistent basis, the better your life is going to be. And it's going to be starting to just, they say neurons that fire together wire together. So the more you start firing these gratitude neurons, the more your mind is just going to be in more of a grateful state. And they say that in order to attract anything new into your life, you have to be grateful for the current situation and the things you have. This is from the book Reality Transurfing. So being grateful is just something you should be doing on a consistent basis, no matter what, and it's going to absolutely change your life and make you magnetic like you wouldn't imagine. So that's going to be all for this video. If you got any value out of this, go ahead and hit the subscribe button to this channel and make sure to book that free coaching call with me down below. Have a great day, everyone.